Well, there's no way I'm doing a voiceover. We are at the Goodwill in Elizabethtown. Jenny and I came up to Elizabethtown because we were looking for the train display at the library. Turns out it's only on the weekends. I decided to go to Goodwill. I drug her along with me. The music was loud, really good, but really loud, so you're stuck with me. They had a lot of Christmas items, which is always exciting. This was an Wizard air freshener in the shape of a Christmas train. I'd never seen this before. Maybe it's like an insert, or maybe it smelled when it was brand new. It had no scent right now. As you can see, the shelves are packed with Christmas items. And for those of you who are not keeping track of who has changed over to the black metal shelves, Elizabethtown has not, which is interesting because all the other ones in the area have. I thought these were super cute. If I had an antique booth, I probably would have picked up not that angel. I was moving that because it was glass. They were hand painted. I'm assuming Mrs. Claus is behind Santa Claus. They're little pot holders, maybe, for your plants. I decided not to get them. And then I thought that maybe someone made this. If you know if this is not handmade, please let me know. To me, it looked like someone crafted it together. There were some that were broken off, and they were permanently on there. You couldn't take them off. I thought it was neat. People like primitive looking things, and that's what it looked like to me. Look, there's another $400 Thai Santa Beanie Baby. Let's see. I was seeing if this was a candle. Was it a candle? I don't remember. We will never know because you can't do my voiceover because the music was so loud. Jenny's laughing. I like this tin on the bottom, and then all of the tins decided they wanted to be chosen. Moving things around. I liked the black background with the poinsettias on it. I thought it had a nice contrasting color to it. I think that was a popcorn factory tin. Moving on, I thought that these were going to be made in Japan. They were not. They were made in China, more contemporary. And then after I touched them, I realized, oh, I'm showing you that I have these. Well, I had them listed on eBay. I sold some. I still have some. They're shoe stretchers. The little figurine that looks like a Japan piece, they're actually heavier than the Japan ones are lighter than the China ones. So that's good to know. Jenny is pointing this little plushie out to me. Just because if sometimes like the paint is lost on the bottom of it and you're not sure where they're made, the ones that they had here, made in China, heavier than the ones made in Japan. I'm sure that is clear as mud now for you who are keeping notes on vintage Japan figurines. Here was a cute little shelf sitter, an autumn owl, and then when I put it up top, I noticed this. It seemed like it was a hobbyist piece, but it was a very nice hobbyist piece, so I was a little confused. You found a sloth. Oh, it's cute. Aw, that's cute.
He's green for some reason.
Yeah, I was wondering why he was green. And it turns out, after I moved the price tag off of it, that it was hand painted in Tennessee. So kind of a hobbyist piece, but a very nicely done one. I thought this was interesting. I believe it's an ashtray. It has a little piece of maybe coral, supposedly, across the top. I also thought that this was adorable. And this was made by Coty, C-O-T-Y, the perfume. Who remembers that perfume? Do they even make that perfume still? Jenny's pointing out this turtle and how it looks like he's dancing. I figured he was probably pushing something at one time in his life or held a frame or something, but it looks kind of like he's just hanging out there. And that was plastic. I thought it was glass. This is made by Coty, like I said. Can you hear Susie in the background? And it was an air freshener thing, and it smelled like baby powder. It had a very nice scent, but I don't want to buy anything that has a scent because people might be allergic. Jenny found this flamingo, and it had really, really long legs, and then we realized that the legs were on springs, and then we realized that it was an ornament. And then when she put it back on the shelf, its legs were just kind of displayed out. It was pretty funny. And let's see, we haven't been up here in a while, so I was looking very, very carefully at everything. Here were some Native American figurines, and there was this really pretty cat on a kind of a decorative cutting board. Maybe it was a cheese board. I wouldn't want to cut on that. I think it would damage the images. There's a koala in the back, along with some Cat's Meow house figurines you can see back there. Here was a Andrea by Sadiq bus. it was a coin bank. And then here were see no evil, hear no evil frogs that looked like they were in a garden. They were kind of faded. Again, I could see if they were in good shape having them in a booth, but to ship them was pretty heavy. Here was another made in China figurine piece, and this one was not marked, but I was going to assume it was also made in China. This one was made in occupied Japan. It's probably a toothpick or a matchstick holder. It had a chip on the top, and so I decided to leave that there. If your initials were RAM or ARM, there was your ice bucket. And these were from Hobby Lobby. They were cheaper now. Hobby Lobby figurines can be kind of pricey, but they always have a sale running, so maybe that's why. This one was this mouse was missing its legs. And these were Homeco I was pointing out to you, and then these are Cherished Teddy figurines. The nice things about those, like Cherished Teddies, they always are marked on the bottom, so you always know what they are. Those plates were made for Bradford Exchange, and it looked like they played music based on the back. And then we moved along, and I found this little dog, and I really liked the eyes. Jenny did not like the eyes. She thought they kind of were going off in two different directions. I thought they were neat, and I did a Google lens of this because the bottom was throwing me off. The bottom kind of looked like those Dollar Tree figurines that you see, and people had this listed as a vintage made in Spain dog. I did not end up getting it, but I was distracted by this. There's going to be more of these in the store. Someone made these, obviously, combined them, and it was like, oh, that's interesting. Jenny likes Care Bears, and she found another one. She has a few of these. It had a tear on the back that could have been easily fixed. We did not pick this one up, but we were checking to see if it's soft. The belly had a little bit of a rough texture to it. I was looking at the records. I was attracted to these because of the vintage look to them, so I'm sharing them with you. I did take the time to look them up. They're made by Peter Pan, that's the brand, and I didn't see anything that was a huge seller. Someone was doing math on the back of that record cover. There's a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. Only one Mary Poppins record, Little Toot, and a counting song. The graphics on these were so cute. Then I glanced over and saw that there were some other vintage records, and there's this one, We Like Dixieland, and I like their outfits. Barefoot. We were moving on, and then this pot caught my attention because I have sold this before, I thought, but the one I sold was a studio art piece, and this one, when I picked it up, was marked Made in China. The Lord Provides, I believe it says. That kind of surprised me because I am 99% sure that the one I sold was a studio art piece. They had a little end cap for cat things. I was telling Jenny that I think that this would be good for Susie to keep her occupied because she's very smart little puppy dog. And then when we opened them up, there was only one left. I wonder if the cat never found the other two. They're probably under someone's sofa right now. So I didn't get that. I have picked up toys for Susie before in the past. Brand new old stock stuffed toys, because she does not destroy dog toys, surprisingly. All my other dogs have always destroyed toys, but Susie loves them. Here we are in the stationery section. This is the Best of Bon Appetit. Flipped through it. That looked really good. I would take that. I love crab. And this box of vintage cards. Bright Blossoms. They were religious in nature, but they had some really nice, cool graphics to them. I think they were encouraging, words of encouragement cards. I decided not to get those, but put the box back and kept moving on. I don't normally go down this aisle when we go to the E-Town Goodwill. I usually just go to the tchotchke area and the dishes area. I like to pick up these kits, but not this one. I like Christmas. Those are good sellers, and sometimes vintage ones with mushrooms and butterflies. Those sell well. Here is somebody's finished work. They had bundled those together. There was a lot of thread. I don't know if I would buy thread to use it because I would think that it would lose its stability over time and strength. I don't know, but I don't think I would ever pick up vintage thread. Here was a bag of instant paper mache. It looked like it had already been molded into paper mache in the bag. And I was seeing if there were anything interesting I could add to my resin, seeing if these were mercury beads. They were not. But you never know. Something might get stuck in there. At first I thought that these were, I'm not quite sure what I thought these were, but I think they were just beads. But in this area, I found 2 bags of stuffing, as you know, if you watch my channel, and I hope you are a subscriber to my channel, that I use this for shipping purposes. When things are little and delicate and kind of easily breakable, I wrap them in the stuffing and then in tissue paper and then in bubble wrap. And that kind of gives it an extra cushion, and you're not worried about pressing tissue paper against the pointy bits. And so far, it's worked out for me. So I like to buy it at thrift stores because it's much cheaper than buying it at a craft store. I believe we're wrapping up our trip here, and I was just checking out some Endcaps. They had some more Christmas items, and they were actively restocking the shelves. So you never know what you might. This one looked like an elf Santa. You never know what you'll miss as you're in one area of the store. Might find something beautiful and treasured. Jenny was pointing out that Mary looked like she needed some hair, some bangs or something in the front. That was obviously a hobbyist piece. And I thought this piece was interesting, how someone had glued tiny little ornaments to the pine cones and made it into a wreath. I was distracted. There's lots of things going on here. The tree in front had dogs on it, and they looked like parts of their legs were wire, like they were missing their legs, which was throwing me off. And then I was seeing if these were old. They definitely were old, but I was hoping that they were maybe from the 50s and 60s, and I don't think that they were, so I did leave those there. And then this was a Boyd's Bear, a musical Boyd's Bear. Seeing the price on that. And then here, this sold on Whatnot yesterday. I had a show on Tuesday, and this sold. It was in a Waterford ornament box, and I was thinking, this is not a Waterford ornament unless Waterford has changed their designs. This is not crystal. I was trying to see if it was broken. It was taped, and then I noticed that the screen was already broken. So I was really, really trying to see if it was chipped or anything, and I thought, I'm not going to buy this without opening up the box, even though Jenny was like, don't open it up the box. But I did. I'm not going to buy something without seeing it. I want to make sure all the legs were there. This sold last night. It's so cute. It's a taco dog. It was so funny. How could you not love this? So I hope the new owner sees it and smiles, because this is adorable. When I talk about I used to work for Hallmark, I used to work for Michael's Hallmark, and Michael's Hallmark, it was located in Columbia, Pennsylvania, and that had a sticker on the box. And I kind of wonder if that was the same Michael's Hallmark. I would guess it was, but there might be another Michael's Hallmark in another state, then that's how it got here. I found these vintage ornaments, and even though we are coming very, very quickly upon Christmas, I thought these were really, really neat. I really, really like the color. Can you hear Indy eating in the background? And then I found another pack of them, and they had some writing, but then I realized it was on the plastic. It was not on the blue ornament. I think I'm going to try and make something out of them, and if I can't, then I think I might just sell them. I know it is getting a little late, but I ship fast. I just thought it was a great deal, and they're lightweight, and they're not breakable. I've sold breakable ornaments recently, and that was very nerve-wracking. Here are some more of those things. I don't know what they're supposed to be. If you know what these are supposed to be, please let me know, because look, here's another one. Here's a blue one. They obviously took like the bottoms and glued the top things to them. There was only one of these glasses. I think this is a juice glass. I've sold these before, and I have some of them for sale. And here's another one. And none of the things that they picked for the bottom were really nice things, so I decided I'm not going to get them and try and take them apart. That had some flashing on it, obviously, that had worn away. I'm so glad Indy has chosen now, during my voiceover, to inhale her breakfast. That was a jar of secrets. It's a small jar of secrets. And this one says kitchen. So you won't forget where you are if you have this in your kitchen. And then look, we didn't find any praying hands, but we found an egg-tastic. And that's going to wrap up our trip here to Goodwill. Welcome back to day 12. We are going to Turkey. They have 85 million people. Interesting fact, the Turks introduced coffee to Europe in the 16th century, and in fact, up to a few hundred years ago, Turkish women were allowed to file for a divorce if their husband could not provide them with coffee. Turkey is highly agricultural and is one of the very few self-sufficient countries in the world. And we are going to 12...
Or whatever you said.
Coffee.
Like the drink?
Yes. The beans, and yeah, they could divorce them if they didn't bring me my coffee. And they were going to 12. I'm excited that we're still staying in this area. I thought we were going to like shoot right over to Europe. Let's go to Turkey and see what the craft is. Wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be great if there was a cup of coffee in here? There's a ring. I don't know what the ring would be. Let's get it out of the bag. It was a small paper plate, a hanger, so we're making a little plaque or something. Here is a design, and those of you who know what this is, we all know what this is. If you know, you know. I think this is ditto paper. Who remembers ditto paper? I think that's what this is. All right, Jenny's like, what paper? I'll have to show her the magic of this paper. All righty, I'll see you when I'm done. This is what it looks like so far. Pretty fun, right? I am finished outlining. And there it is, and now I get to color. I like this craft. The only craft I have not liked so far was Ukraine because the directions weren't very good and they didn't line up very well for me. But overall, I think every day of this Advent kit has been, or calendar, has been a lot of fun. I accidentally did it on the wrong side to begin with. All right, I'll show you when I'm done. Here it is finished. I didn't use traditional colors. I just picked some colors that I liked. I thought that this was a lot of fun. See you tomorrow. Happy day 13, lucky 13. We are going to Greece. Capital cities Athens, 11 million people. Interesting fact, Greece has over 6,000 islands and is visited by over 17 million tourists a year. It is one of the sunniest places on the planet with over 250 days of sunshine. And we were in Turkey yesterday, and now we're just going to hop right over to Greece right there. I've been to Europe and some parts of, well, it was Russia at the time, but I have never been to Greece. I think that would be a lot of fun, and especially now that I know it's so sunny. All right, let's see what the craft is today. Well, now I know it's not a ring. I know it's a plate, so maybe we're making some Greek pottery. Yesterday was a plate as well. It looks like we are making a plate with some leaves. This was super simple. We were making a olive wreath, and the directions showed theirs went all the way around. Mine didn't. I only had one more leaf. I think this is super simple, like I said, to do. It would be easy for children of all ages to do. Use a glue stick. Don't use the Elmer's glue. Be nice to yourself. Glue sticks are your friend. See you tomorrow for day 14. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see ya.